Aloha mai kako, Kilamau Tengan with this week's weekly rhythm, our extended version. All right, so talking about this movement, right? We're in one of three stages, generally speaking. We're in that first stage where we are still amidst our own initiation. Things aren't quite working out, and so things are getting stuck, and we kind of stumble into that. And if that's the case, then what we're going to be seeing is things are just going to be blowing up and just blowing out if it hasn't already. All this means is that all of the energy that has been stored in terms of getting us to really consider some of the decisions we've made is now building and building and building. And like a pressure cooker, it's going to explode. Now, if we're past the initiation stage, terrific, because we've already gone through that in some way, shape, or form. The second stage will be then, it means that we're more in this place of decision making, the reckoning. Now, the reckoning has three distinctive stages. However, the end result is to have us take responsibility for ourselves and to make a choice or a series of choices. So now if you find yourself in a place where you're in this place of unease, similar to that first aspect, yet we're also in a place of like high uncertainty, and for some odd reason, things feel like they're moving in the right direction. Now, one thing to look at there is to really just take ownership on what it is that you have decided to get you here, and what are the decisions from here that you are now being tasked and asked to make. Now, most though are going to find ourselves transitioning from this place of having a choice to make into the third stage of the awakening, which is the emergence. Now, in this stage, one of the things that we're really looking at is letting go. Because we're finding that as we let go of any preconceived notions, any aspects of self-identity, any of these areas where we're really just holding on so strongly to, is that when we let go, we also let flow. And what that means is we are caught up in the very vitalizing forces of creation. Yeah, I know, big time. And so as that happens, then there is a place that we are intended to be. There is a thing that we are intended to do. And I talk a lot about this in terms of our vital body systems and our genius. Now, our genius, again, is where all of this really is leading into. And the more that we can just allow things to carry us in that general direction, the more we're able to actually feel into it. Because as we allow ourselves to effectively recalibrate our very selves, then things are different. And what I mean to say is that with our body, we have something around 98% water molecules within our body. Now, the thing about the water molecule is that it is both impressionable and imprintable. Now, that means that we can take on within the very cells of our body the energy, the emotion, the story of ... And so when we've been a certain way for a certain amount of time, certain things happen. Certainly, there is more to us than just that. However, what we're seeing is that the water, not just the water molecules, not just our nervous system, not just the neural pathways that have created this concept of who I am, we are going into a process of all of these now changing over. We're in the midst and amidst of a certain cycle. And this cycle really allows us to not just redefine who we are, it also allows us to refine who we are. Now, this is kind of a confusing thing because in the third stage of the emergence, the best thing we can do is just allow ourselves to let go of that sense of self, that identity that we have created. And a large part of our identity nowadays is based on external factors. In fact, the roles and the responsibilities that we have and that we fulfill. Now, if this is the case, then this leads us into that place of high uncertainty because we don't really know then who we are. And that is exactly where we want to be. Because as we allow this space, if you will, then we create a place for us to really play in. And when I say play, it allows us to explore who we truly are in a way that is non-judgmental, that is open and curious. And this curiosity is going to be a very key component in the stage of the emergence. And this week, we're really going into that. And this week, we really want to allow ourselves to just remain curious, like you're walking through a museum. And as you do, you're just walking and you're looking at all of these things. There's going to be things that really catch our attention, and we want to walk over to it and read all of the descriptions, and that's terrific. And there's other things we'll just breeze by. And as we breeze by those aspects, just allow yourself to be internally guided to what you're most drawn 2. Love and aloha, take care, and ahui ho.